Hi, I'm Jennifer Valverde. Today I will be demonstrating how to install and license McAfee Vulnerability Manager 7.5 on a single server. To start, you will need a server or virtual machine that meets the minimum hardware and software requirements as shown here. The installation guide contains instructions on recommended settings for each of the supported SQL Server installations. For further detail, review the appendix of the install guide. The MVM software can be downloaded from www.mcafee.com/us/downloads. A valid grant number is required. Click Go. Scroll down to the McAfee Vulnerability Manager software and click. Choose McAfee Vulnerability Manager 7.5. The documentation tab contains best practices, install guides, product guides. I highly recommend downloading and keeping those handy. The file you want to download is MVM setup 7.5.exe. Before running the installation, there are a few recommended settings to change. Microsoft Windows 2008 R2 has admin approval mode enabled by default. In order to ensure the installation goes smooth, we recommend turning admin approval mode off. To do this, go to your local security policy, choose Security Options, User Account Control Admin Approval Mode, double-click, disable, and apply. We also recommend Internet Explorer Enhanced Security is set to off for administrator. To do this, go to the Server Manager, choose Configure IEESC, and turn off for administrators. I suggest rebooting the server before starting the installation. This ensures the change settings are applied and any previous installations, such as SQL, are completed in full. Once the server comes back up, to install, right-click the installer and run as administrator. It is strongly recommended that you exit all Windows programs before running the setup. Click Next through the welcome screen. Accept the terms of the license agreement. Today I will be performing a standard installation. The standard installation is the most commonly used options appropriate for most users. You will see at the end of the installation wizard, the user is given the opportunity to fine-tune the standard install. The install wizard automatically detects running instances of SQL Server. Choose the appropriate authentication method and click Next. The install will verify proper access. A default installation of Windows and SQL Server will include the critical dependencies. On the screen here, you will see that you've passed or failed all of the critical dependencies. It is required that you pass before you move on. The installation creates a database name fault line. The password entered here will be configured as the fault line database user password and used by the product components to connect to the database as needed. This password can be changed in SQL later if needed, but will also need to be changed in the FCM console if modified. The global administrator is a high-level administrator capable of performing administrative tasks that you may not want to offer organizational administrators. Enter the password here. Click Next. MVM uses organizations to manage system access. Once installed, you will have the ability to add organizations and workgroups within the organization. Enter the password for the administrator of the organization listed above. The confirmation screen includes a summary of options that will be used in the installation. This is your chance to change ports, directories used, and global configuration settings. As mentioned at the start, the settings chosen for you are the recommended settings appropriate for the majority of users. You may want to click through the settings offered here to ensure they work for your organization. For instance, the API server port can be changed. $38.40 and next. When you're happy with the settings, click Install. At the end of the installation, you'll be requested to reboot. Hit Finish to restart. First thing you want to do after installation is update the product patches and content. In order to do that, click Start, Foundstone, Update McAfee Vulnerability Manager. This brings up the update program where you'll type in your username and password. When you purchased MVM, you should receive an email that looks something similar to this. McAfee Vulnerability Manager Update Account Credentials with the username and password. Look for this email and use those username and password to authenticate. You should see it update for every one of the packages listed below. This will take anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes. When the update is complete, you will see update was successful for each of the 6 packages listed below. To verify the package was updated successfully, go to Start, Foundstone, FCM Console. On the left pane, click on the system name. You'll see the services that are running. They should all be green at this point. If you scroll down, you'll see the running version and the latest version are equal. This says that the patch was applied successfully. And at the bottom, auto-updated components are the content packages that are also updated. From here, you can log into the Enterprise Manager. The installation automatically puts a shortcut on your desktop. The organization name is filled in. An administrator is a user that's already created. The initial screen will be blank, but you'll notice that it'll come with a 60-day license. This is a trial license that's somewhat limited. If you've already purchased a license for MVM, to license the product, hit Start, Foundstone, Register McAfee Vulnerability Manager. The screen comes up with a hash. This is the trial license hash. You want to clear this screen, generate the hash, and click Website. Here you'll fill in the form and click Submit Registration. The hash will already be filled in for you. At this point, you'll wait for an email to come back from McAfee MB Licensing to complete the registration. The email you receive from McAfee will look similar to the following. Cut and paste the license block here into the unlock code and hit Register Now. This concludes the installation of MVM. Please check back for additional videos on different components and product features in the future.